I've been sitting here in front of the camera for quite a while now, thinking, what do I want to say exactly? What are the things that I want to explain to you guys? Because it could be as simple as just saying, I'm pregnant, which, by the way, I still cannot believe that I'm saying those words out loud and that this is my reality right now. But yeah, I could just say that. And also, I feel like there's so much that I want to update you guys on and just talk about. I am so excited to be starting this new chapter of my life and to honestly to just talk about it, because I don't know if you remember from some of my past videos that I've been saying that I haven't been feeling like myself. Something has affected me in a way that I wasn't expecting. Well, this was it. It was basically the first trimester of my pregnancy. So since I wasn't sure exactly what to share in this video, and since I've already recorded this video for my Spanish YouTube channel, I went on my membership. It's only in Spanish. I asked the girls in the membership to ask me questions. Okay, let's start with the first question, and I'm gonna try not to make this extremely long because I have a tendency to just rumble on and on. How did you find out that you were pregnant? I feel like I knew about 5 days post ovulation. I just started having all of these crazy symptoms that I don't usually have. My stomach was feeling very weird. My body temperature was quite high. I was extremely emotional. I have back pain that I usually never have. And I was feeling extremely weird and overwhelmed. During the first week, I legit looked for pregnancy symptoms. I was watching over and over different videos of other girls sharing their 2-week wait symptoms, and I just usually I'm not the greatest with things that I can't control and things that I just don't know. So I had a really hard time during the first week of my waiting period, and come the second week, like the Monday, the start of the second week, I just couldn't wait any longer. Like I couldn't wait 2 full weeks before I started taking pregnancy tests. So I just took a test on a Monday that it was supposed to be 7/9 days post ovulation, and the test was positive. There was a very faint line, but there was definitely a line. Still, it was so faint that I was doubting myself. So that afternoon I took another test, and the next morning I took another test, and every time it was getting a little bit darker, but it was still faint. So I don't think I had the reaction that I thought I would have, because I was sort of not wanting to get my hopes too high in case I was just imagining things, or maybe it was a chemical pregnancy. So I started taking tests every single day, just being a bit paranoid, to be honest, and trying to make sure that the line was getting darker. And I don't think it was until I took a digital pregnancy test where I saw the words pregnant and I saw the weeks that I was pregnant that I started feeling like, okay, this is real. So long story short, I think I found out around the 26th of August. The next question asked, did you always know that you wanted to have kids? Yes, I've always known that I've wanted to have kids, and more than that, I've always wanted to be pregnant. Like, I don't know what it is, but I've always been fascinated by pregnancy. Ever since I was very little, I remember being fascinating and slightly jealous of my aunts and other women in my life that started getting pregnant. I was like, oh my gosh, I cannot wait until the day that I can finally experience that myself. So yeah, I've always known that I wanted to get pregnant and obviously have kids, and I've always wanted a big family. Next question says, do you guys know more or less what name will the baby have, if it's a girl or a boy? We don't know the gender of the baby yet. We won't know until the middle of December, like mid-December, when we have our 20-week scan, which is absolutely crazy. I always figured we would know earlier, but we decided not to take the genetic test since the risk came very like extremely low for us in like some sort of test that they do. We decided not to go along with it. So we have to wait until the 20-week scan to know the gender of our baby. So to answer her question, we don't know the name of the baby yet. We have had a girl name for years now. I don't know how we even came out with that name, but we both agreed, and we have been always calling our hopefully future girl at some point by that name. So we are very set on that name. If we have a girl, we already have a name then, but if we have a boy, we're not quite sure yet. Okay, I'm aware that the lighting has completely changed. It's been half an hour, but it started raining. The card was full. I had to stop recording and delete some footage so that I could continue recording. So I'm so sorry about the change. I believe I just finished answering the question about the name and if we know whether it's gonna be a baby girl or a baby boy. So the next question was about my first trimester and how I felt, if I had like some specific symptoms or if I had cravings. To be honest, the first trimester caught me completely by surprise. I'm not sure what I was expecting or what I imagined the first trimester would be. I had only heard about other women having nausea and vomiting, but I was so sure that I wouldn't experience that because I have never been a person that vomits easily or that feels nauseated. So I didn't know what to expect, and I just thought I could continue doing life as normal. But no. I guess if you have to compare, I didn't have it as bad as I know other women have. I wasn't throwing up every day. I didn't throw up during my first trimester. I only threw up one day in which I threw up 5 different times, but I think it was some sort of flu. I don't think it was pregnancy because it would be so weird that just for one random day during the whole first trimester I started vomiting for like 5 times in a row. So I think that must have been some kind of stomach bug. Other than that, I didn't have nausea per se, but my stomach felt so twisted. Like I spent every day of my first trimester not feeling well in my stomach. I didn't have like nausea, but just I didn't feel well in my stomach. And other than that, I was extremely tired. Like I was falling asleep everywhere. I still do, but not as intensely as in my first trimester. I also was extremely hungry, like literally all the time. I needed to eat. I was obsessed with food. Every time I smelled food around me, I wanted to eat. Every hour or so, I swear, it felt like I had not eaten for 3 days. It wasn't normal hunger, it was pain. Pain in my stomach saying, either you eat right now or we're gonna throw up. The thing that I would say has been the worst for me was the month of September. I experienced what I would say was depression. I've always experienced a bit of depression during my PMS week. But this time, during my first trimester, it lasted for about a whole month where everything in me felt depressed. I didn't want to do anything. I didn't have motivation or just excitement for absolutely anything. I was anxious and depressed constantly, and it was so hard for me because not only I was feeling like that, but also I had no energy to do anything at all. So yeah, it was a tough month, the month of September. All this to say, my first trimester was way harder than I was expecting, way harder physically and mentally. I barely could work for over a month, and that was so hard for me because obviously I wanted to do things because I have to work to continue paying my bills, especially now that I'm pregnant, and I was getting so anxious about the fact that I barely could do any work and I felt like everything was sort of failing. And obviously this does not mean that I'm not grateful, and I was feeling grateful for experiencing what I'm experiencing and for being pregnant, but I guess the fact that it caught me so by surprise made me not be prepared, either mentally or also logistically in my work, to be able to spend almost 3 months of barely being able to make any progress with my work and my goals and just everything in general. The good thing about this though, now being in my 15th week of my pregnancy, is that it's true what they say, like once you hit the 12th, 13th week mark, you start feeling way better. The next question says, would you like to try some specific workout routine to strengthen your pelvic floor, or like prenatal yoga or something like that? And yes, I am dying to go back to my workout routine, because I would have never thought that I would be the kind of person that just doesn't work out at all during her first trimester. I always imagined myself being active and continuing to work out for my whole pregnancy, but you know, it just didn't happen. I think I worked out about 3 times during my first trimester because I just had no spare energy to do anything else than just to survive the day. So I'm dying to go back to my workout routine, and I'm going slow. I've already started doing some things here and there, but yeah, I'm sort of seeing what I can do and what I cannot do with my energy, with how I'm feeling, and hopefully I'm gonna, you know, just get into a good routine, because I know how important it is for myself, for the baby, for like giving birth and everything. So really looking forward to that. If you have any tips, please let me know in the comments. Finally, the last question says, how did you tell your family and your friends? We recorded absolutely everything, and I'm so glad we did, because it's so fun to see everyone's reactions. The first person that we told was one of our friends, the one that's our neighbor. I think we told her in week 4, so it was extremely early, but I just was feeling so anxious and so nervous and worried, and I don't know, just with lots of anxiety about, you know, it not going well and maybe losing the baby, and I not having any control over it, that I just wanted to have someone outside of my husband that I could talk to. Then I had to tell my sister, my aunt, and my cousin during my trip to Geneva, I never know how it's pronounced in English, but yeah, we went on a trip and I was so extremely tired that I was like, I just have to tell you. Then we told my parents, my sister, who already knew, but my sister, my brother, and also my husband's parents and brother, and all of us together in my 30th birthday, which was also my mother-in-law's 60th birthday. We have our birthdays in the same day. We are exactly 30 years apart, so that was fun, and that made that day extremely special. And then we started telling our friends once we got closer and once we passed the 12-week mark, which, by the way, I feel like I completely skipped 1 week of my first trimester, because when I got my 12-week scan, I found out that I was actually 13 weeks pregnant. So yeah, I skipped a week. Anyways, right now I'm feeling way better. I feel like I'm finally being able to enjoy this part of my life and of my pregnancy. It's something that I've dreamed of for a very long time. I've always wanted to experience this, as I said before, and yeah, to have my own family. And I'm so excited to meet whoever this baby is and to get to know them, and yeah, just get to know their personality and who they are as a person. I'm feeling really happy, really grateful to be in this chapter of my life and to be able to share it with you guys. So please let me know if you have any other questions or things that you would like to know. Maybe if there's some kind of content that you would like me to share or record for you guys, also let me know in the comments. I will read them all and talk to you more in there. I've been also thinking about maybe doing a Q&A, a get to know me Q&A. I had this channel for such a short period of time that I feel like you guys don't know me that well, and probably it's not even that close of a relationship for you to care that much about me or to want to know me, or maybe I'm just portraying that insecurity. But if you would like to know something about me, ask me absolutely anything, and I will make a Q&A, like a cozy coffee talk or a tea talk, so that we can sit down together and get to know a little bit more about each other. By the way, I asked you guys to share with me something about yourself in my last video, and I've been reading the comments and I've been loving to know you a little bit more. I'm gonna shut up now. Thank you so much for being here, for all of your support. If you haven't already, please consider subscribing. It would help me so much. And if you have already subscribed, thank you so much. It truly means the world. So yeah, I hope you have a fantastic day and a fantastic week, and I will see you very soon in my next video.